Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Hello and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And today we are back with, I'm going to be talking about a few psychological theories, themes that I'm seeing in the world of pop culture. I'm going to be talking about authenticity, anxiety, and the psychological reward of exposure and public shaming. And I'm going to talk about this in terms of the TV show, The Traitors, a little bit, but mainly through, I think this really came to me based on the Love is Blind finale and watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in such a short period of time. That's what inspired me. But I'm going to also talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills' newest housewife, Amanda Francis, who makes me crazy. And I think she makes a lot of people, I don't think she's going to be back next year. She makes a lot of people crazy. So, and Brooke is going to be talking about the, also Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the lawsuit between Marciano, what's his last name?
Brunette.
Marciano Brunette and Demi Engemann? Engemann?
Yes, it's a defamation lawsuit that he filed against her based upon the things that she's been saying about him, saying that it was a non-consensual touching he committed, and it was she's been calling him a sexual predator and other things. So we'll get into that.
And then at the end, we're going to be talking about the Oscars. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So let's start. So as I mentioned before, between what we witnessed with Love is Blind, because the night that we recorded the Love is Blind reunion, or maybe the night that we posted it, I can't remember. I remember laying in bed that night going, uh-oh. I don't think people are going to, I really felt like we were going to get a lot of pushback for our take on Love is Blind. And actually, people liked it.
Have they?
I got a few people that were like, this is the best recap, this is the best one. And it's like, because we have a very different take. And that's part of what I'm seeing here. This is what I want to talk about.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was very worried too, because I'm like, oh, they're going to say that we're apologists for, like, how could you defend Alex or Chris? We even had some compassion for Chris having to be called a douchebag by fucking Amber, who's
on national TV in front of his face over and over again. That's our issue. We're not saying
Chris he was a great person on this show.
But
we don't
he's
know what he's like in
down.
real life. But
Yeah.
you're kicking someone when they're down, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of, we did stick up for a lot of people, and I was worried that, going to catch a lot of heat for that.
Yes. And it seems like when you're scrolling through, as I am, TikTok or Instagram, it's hard. Social media, like the nuances of things. And we've talked about this, that there is, when it comes to people and relationships and how people behave, there's a tremendous amount of nuance.
Mm-hmm.
But the way our world is right now, and how much information that we're taking in all the time, in some ways, that nuance, it creates too much uncertainty. So there's two things happening that's driving all of this. The first is authenticity anxiety. And then the second one is the exposure and public shaming. So authenticity anxiety is the feeling that it's becoming harder and harder to know what is real. And I actually talk about this on the Gen Mess with Tess about transparency and why Gen Z loves transparency, because we don't know what's real anymore. We don't know if it's AI. We don't even know if a video is new from this year or last year. We don't know if this news that they're sharing with us is new. It is, and even legitimate places, that they're fact checking, but you don't even know what day this was published. You know what I mean? You're not even quite sure if this is new. So what's happening is that our brains, we can no longer easily determine what is real and who to trust. And so what happens is that when we don't feel like we can trust, we move to sort of, these are threats. So these are threats. So what happens is then when we don't know, we start scanning for signs of deception. And so the second idea that I'm talking about is the psychological reward system of exposure and public shaming is that once people think they have identified someone who is fake, exposing that person becomes extremely satisfying. So there is something very satisfying, and we all feel it, and we've all been there. There's something very satisfying about the public shaming. It activates this part of us, this moral superiority and this group belonging. And there's a real neurological reward that we get it. It feels good to call somebody out, like call them out on the carpet. So we're living in a culture where people are anxious about authenticity. And at the same time, they're being rewarded for exposing deception. And that combination creates this culture that is we're constantly looking for someone to investigate. We're constantly sort of on edge looking for things. And I mean, I wanted to use the example of The Traitors. You don't watch The Traitors, right?
No.
It's essentially a game show, and it's all, I don't know how seriously people take it, but take the show when they're in it. But, it's a show that's about lying and about who's lying and who's not lying. And so what happens on the show is every interaction that you have with anybody at all times becomes this psychological investigation, right? What's their body language? What's their tone? What are the inconsistencies? And so, it makes it, I can't imagine being on that show because everything that you're doing is being analyzed, even if it's nothing at all. And I think about that in terms of it's like being in a courtroom and being the defendant, like everything, a sneeze, a cough, whatever. So, the show, I believe that the show is doing well because it actually is mirroring that part of our brains that already happens in our real life, which is we get to participate as the audience in this authenticity detection and calling people out. So we see this pattern with influencers where we see influencers getting exposed for exaggerating their lifestyle or staging content. And and then a celebrity, sends out an apology video, and there's a million people, ourselves included, that are analyzing it and looking at everything. And, we're watching for this collective authenticity. We're looking for that. So the thing is that one thing I've noticed is, especially working with young people, as I said, that authenticity has become a real core value. And that, when people feel like someone is trying to sell them a false image, their anxiety will go up. And that brings me to the latest housewife, Amanda Frances from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So Amanda she built a business around basically helping women manifest wealth and abundance. And her brand is really built on this idea that, when a woman believes in herself and their worth, they can attract more money and success into their lives. And you're like, okay, she, one thing is I had to look it up because she kept saying how she was a therapist. So basically she got a master's in counseling psychology, same master's that I have. And it looks like she was working on a PhD program. And my guess would be is she left in the middle of it. And so she really likes to talk about how she has all this training working with families and kids and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you had 2 traineeships where you were heavily supervised. Like it's like a toe in the bucket kind of thing. So, but she really leans on that a lot. Really leans on, I have this experience. This is, I know all of these things. So her message, right, is all about confidence and self-belief and abundance. But you watch her on the show and her energy is so odd. I mean, I can't explain it. It's like first year Real Housewives, I definitely think there is this drive and desire and need to show the audience how much money you have, how important you are, who you know, what it is. And she definitely is in that. She is desperately trying to show us how wealthy she is. And she constantly is reminding us how she is a self-made millionaire. She reminded us more than once on a recent episode that she makes more in a year than her husband makes. She makes more in a month than her husband makes in an entire year.
That's a rude thing to say.
The guy that she's getting engaged to, she's talking about how she's paying for the wedding because he doesn't make any money and she's the one that makes all the money. And, she's talking about another cast member, Dorit, who I'm really enjoying Dorit. And post-divorce, I like divorce Dorit. It's great. And basically saying, making a comment about Dorit sort of giving up her financial, kind of giving it up for a man, you put your financial independence and freedom into a man, and now that man's taking the money away and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe, but it's kind of rude. And especially for someone you don't know very well, you don't know her history. So there's a lot of this with her, of this need of her projecting out this image. And the thing about the coaching world is that coaching, there's a real fake it till you make it. And there's a real idea of you are inauthentically authentic. I can't explain it, but it's all about these coaches being like, this is my story. This is my tale. This is my, woe is me. And then this is how I am. But I think what we're seeing more and more as more of these coaches are being exposed, we're seeing oh, Jay Shetty, you weren't a monk that long. You weren't a monk for years and years and years. You weren't counseling all these people. You were a monk for 9 months. So it's this weird thing, but I feel like the coaching community really supports this projection of confidence, and whether the person is confident or not, whether the person knows what they're talking about or not, or whether the person should even be working or doing the things that they're doing, or even working with the clients, or even if people should be handing you money. It's sort of this idea of, well, if you're confident about it, people will hand you money. And that's a lot of, manifesting is about, seeing it.
Well, isn't this just The Secret? I mean,
yes, it is.
She's not new.
No, she has not created anything new or different. This is The Secret. This is something that people have been doing for years and years and years and years and years. This has been around a long time. And listen, the hardcore manifestors will talk to you and sit you down all about quantum physics, and they will get into the energy and how we're all energy and we're all this and that. And really, truly, you don't need a book to manifest. It really is. And it is. And it's actually, as strange as it sounds, the process is I've found over the years. It's really about this process of identifying these beliefs that you have and really challenging them. So for me, one of the beliefs that I've had has always been which I got from our parents, which is that in order to make money, it needs to be difficult, right? Like hard work, if you work hard, you're a good person. If you work hard and you're capable and you're number one and you're a star, and you work a lot, you deserve money and success. That's what it felt like to me. So I I felt like our parents told us you can have success, but it's going to be painful. And it's this idea now really is, I'm like, does it have to be? Why does it have to, like, I can earn money with ease. Money can come into my life without me being anxious about it or upset about it or beating myself up. And so it's a very simple concept, but it takes a long time for you to wrap your brain around it, really get it, sit with it, sort of test it, see what happens. What does the universe give you? Right? Like, and I had this thing too, because my business has been really slow. And I was like, and we're doing all this work on our house. And then Steve comes home and he's like, yeah, I got a bonus. I'm like, great. There we go. And then again, I had another moment where I'm like, oh crap, now that bonus is gone because we used it to paint the house and do all this stuff. And then we find out we don't owe any money in taxes and we're getting a refund. So here's the thing. You can see that as just coincidences. Fine. That's fine. Or I can see that as, but it's working for me. Thus far, I'll let you know next month what happens.
Yeah.
But I believe in all of this stuff. I do believe the universe has your back. I do, but I don't believe it in this format in which she teaches it. I believe it in a totally different way. So
what does she do? Does she have some sort of program where people pay her money? And
Yes. So she wrote a book called, I don't know if it's Rich as Fuck.
Okay.
Of course, this as fuck thing. She's such a millennial. I will tell you, she is so millennial. She kind of like checks a lot of these millennial boxes, which is what is fascinating about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because all these women, the older women are Gen Xers, and they're all like, get over it. Just fucking move on. Like, she hurt your feelings. Just like, and Amanda's like, don't say mean things to me at my home. And all the other women are like, just get over it. Again, not saying that's the best attitude to have to tell someone and, just get over it. But it is funny to see this dynamic. She has programs that, from what I hear, I haven't looked to see how expensive they are, but I know these coaches, they sell these programs for, at least $2,000 to $3,000, I mean, and there is this other mindset of this too, where it's like, this is your first investment in you, right? If you really believe in yourself, if you really believe in this, you're going to invest all this money. And people have real problems with this because the way her stuff is written is it's really written for people that are really stressed out about money. Like, are you always worried about money? Are you always seeing other people with this, right? And so you're kind of getting a vulnerable group of people. It's kind of like me going to, these parents that are desperate for their kids to launch and be like, oh yeah, I have the formula. I can do it. I will help your kids launch. Give me $5,000, and here's the program. And you can easily take advantage of people that are like in this. Those parents would pay $5,000.
Yeah.
They're desperate. Yeah. So there is something about this. The people that are seeking this don't have money. And so, so that's why I'm saying, please don't buy a program. You can go on YouTube and find so much stuff for free, so much stuff that's out there by legitimate people. But so there's something about this, right? This, like, her talk, it's all about loving yourself and abundance, but there's this, kind of this other wounded child part of her. And so when someone is not emotionally congruent, right, from what you're saying doesn't match your actions, that creates insecurity and anxiety for people. And we start to detect that mismatch. So that's the thing. The mistake that a lot of people make, and I think that Amanda's making, is authenticity does not mean that you're confident all the time or that you're perfect. Authenticity means that it's an emotional signal that your emotions match the story that you're telling. Whether it's a story that makes you look good, it doesn't make you look good. It's that it feels right, that it feels comfortable. And she's interesting because she comes from this online coaching and manifestation space where your personal branding's really curated. How you present yourself, very curated. And that's what happens with these manifestation stories. So I just told you all a manifestation story, right? So I can go around to all these places and be like, I finally trusted myself, and then money came in for my husband, and then we didn't have to pay taxes. I can go and I can sell this story all over the place. It shows you, like, look at Tess, she's manifesting. Am I? Have I figured out some secret? Like, can I really be teaching this as a formula? Should I be? You know what I mean? It's that. That's the thing. So, you know, what we're seeing, I think why Amanda isn't working so well is that she's just not, she doesn't match. And when that gap occurs, you know, it makes people anxious. And when people feel anxiety, there's that distrust. So once people believe someone is being deceptive, exposing them suddenly becomes very emotionally satisfying because it then creates this moral clarity. So if someone else is the villain, then we feel like we're on the side of truth, that we're right, that we're better. And what we're seeing is that we're seeing this, like the internet, we will have this collective moral outrage. And of course, the irony is that in our culture, all we want is authenticity, but the way we try to enforce authenticity is through public humiliation. So the constant culture of exposure might actually make authenticity harder. Because when people know that every mistake could lead to public shaming, they don't necessarily become more honest. So
probably the opposite.
And one thing, and I don't know if I mentioned this here, or maybe I mentioned it on Gen Mess, but you know, one big thing that's happening right now is with all of the beverage companies, you know, the alcoholic beverages, the big thing in the media right now is Gen Z doesn't drink. Gen Z is destroying the spirits and alcohol, you know, industry. And that's apparently not true, that they are drinking, definitely not drinking the way other generations drank, but they are not going to bars. They are drinking at their own home around people they trust because they watched primarily millennials be exposed online and see how one drunken fight, one thing on like how that,
or you get roofied or something like that.
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, there's those dangers too, but just in it is really fascinating to see. Like we're like, God, these kids, they don't want to drink, they don't want to do this, and I'm like, no, I think they are not going to get sloppy drunk out in a place where everyone has phones, cameras, the way we did. I mean, I'm sure there's still sloppy drunks out there, but I'm just saying overall. So Gen Z is just consuming alcohol differently. And it's absolutely because of the public shaming.
Yeah. And
so that then creates, you know, it makes it hard to be authentic and be who you are. And I just thought it was very fascinating. They kind of like, it's like a snake, it feeds into itself. And I think the more we see these shows like Love is Blind and just all of the parents that wanted to publicly shame, you know, Amber needed to publicly shame Jordan and Chris. Daryl needed to publicly shame Devontae, right? All these people need to publicly shame. And what's interesting is the one person that had the right, the one person who you can kind of get behind saying something was Connor. And Connor, you see something, because Connor is so secure within himself that he doesn't need to say anything. And that's so that's authentic. That's authentic. It's just being like, I don't need to keep doing this with him. Like it's been shown. So anyway, that's my concept for this week.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot.
A lot to take in.
Very interesting. Okay. So, I am going to talk about, we just finished recording an episode about the first few episodes of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We touched on this a bit. So if you are watching that series or you're familiar with it, where to begin? Where to begin? So a couple seasons ago, the cast of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
4 of them. So Layla, Jesse, Demi, and Jen. It's frightening that I know that. If you ask me for 4 names of like the cabinet, I don't know if I could give it to you. Well, I probably could because these people.
Secretary of Transportation.
I have no idea. It's probably some 23-year-old.
Sean Duffy, who was on The Real World with
God,
his wife.
Rachel
Castro?
Duffy. Oh,
yeah.
She was like Campos or
Campos,
like
Rachel Campos Duffy. Yeah.
God, it's frightening that I know that. Okay, keep going.
That's a long throwback to reality TV. Okay, so so those four went on this new show of Lisa Vanderpump's. It's only had 2 seasons air, I guess, called Vanderpump Villa, where reality stars go to these different locations, these villas, I don't know, castles, whatever they are in Europe. And they get exposed to the finest and, dining experience and yada, yada, yada. I don't know what they're doing on there. But anyway, the head server, the lead server at the Vanderpump Villa is this man named Marciano Brunette or Brunetti. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. And he has created quite a stir, to say the least.
He's talked about more than anyone else. He's talked about more than God, on The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You know, it's crazy.
Yes. So at the villa, apparently, according to Marciano, he and Demi, who, was married, had a little, they didn't sleep together. He says that, they shared a kiss and this flirtatiousness, and she confided in him about, her marriage. And so it was kind of an emotional affair with a little bit of kissing, perhaps, which, then ended when, well, didn't really end, actually. I shouldn't say that. After the show, the filming was over, they continued to communicate. And this is all contained in a lawsuit that he has filed in federal court in Utah. And it's against Demi, and it's also against the production company, Jenkins Productions. So the production company that basically oversaw all of this and, put it out there to the world. And so in the complaint for defamation, there are a lot of examples of text messages back and forth, but they kept in touch. They were very, flirty with each other. And, she clearly had no apprehension about him or.
Yeah. There was one time where I think Demi let her daughter talk to him.
Yeah. She was on a FaceTime with her, with Marciano, with her daughter. Yeah. It was very, very, friendly. And so he, then later he came to an event in Las Vegas. Like, he's an aspiring DJ, I guess. I think he was in Las Vegas for some kind of DJ gig. And, he hooked up with Jessie from the show.
Yes.
And, she called it an emotional affair, but I think it was more than that.
What do you mean?
Like they had like physical contact, right?
They did, but I think she says that it's 2 different kisses. Like, I think they kissed in Vegas and then maybe they kissed again in LA. Like, there was an event at Tom Tom. And I think, or one of the Vanderpump, whatever places. And that's what I remember from the show. That the stuff with Jessie was I always got the perception that with Demi, it was just all talking, you could call it, a friendship, a flirty friendship, maybe an emotional affair. That Jessie definitely, they kissed and she was confiding in him.
Okay. Well, in the lawsuit, Marciano claims that he and Demi kissed.
Oh, okay. That's news to me.
In Italy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then, okay, so Marciano told the women, or told Jessie anyway, I think, that he kissed Demi. She maintains that any contact with him was, quote unquote, unwanted touch. And then Demi confided in Jessie, and then Jessie went on to have an affair with him and claims that she didn't know that Marciano was Demi's, quote unquote, abuser. This was a quote. That's kind of a weird thing to say. But anyway, so she has said a lot. Let me pull up some of these allegations.
Right. Because
So
the script flips a little bit. I mean, that was one of the things that, okay, keep going. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, because in season 3, what you see almost like in time, you see Demi being like, oh, Marciano and I are friendly and we're friends and we talk. Then she's learning about the affair and Jesse. And then it kind of things start to come out that maybe something happened with Demi. And the minute like any attention was placed on Demi potentially also having an emotional affair, physical emotional affair, then she flips the script and he becomes a predator.
Right.
And I think that's what was so obviously, you know, we're here, we believe women. That isn't what's going on at all. But really, truly, anybody who watches this, you will see this is not how she spoke of him. And I think anybody who has legitimately been through trauma can see very clearly that she is not reacting like someone.
No, she's
scared of.
She continued the relationship. So, okay, so they did kiss. Demi and Marciano did kiss in Italy. She did not express non-consent, did not resist, and did not treat her interactions with Marciano as an assault because they were not. This is from his complaint. Plaintiff did not touch Engemann in any manner she communicated was unwanted. And also they make a point of talking about how, you know, there were literally cameras in every room except the bathrooms. Mm-hmm. Like if there was any sort of anything, it would have been caught on camera.
Yeah. And also even in the bathroom, I think they still have their mics on. You then have to remember to turn your mic off. So I think they would catch that too.
Yeah. So when she flipped the script and started saying that, you know, these were non-consensual encounters, and, you know, she used the words, you know, predatory, you know, sexual predator, and she was suggesting that more women would come forward, even though she lacked any factual basis for that. So the contact after filming, you know, they give a bunch of stats here about how they had, it's very specific. So they obviously have the receipts here. So they exchanged, this is in September 2024, they exchanged phone calls several times, including 3 conversations on September 7th, lasting approximately 11, 21, and 31 minutes. And a call on the morning of September 27th, lasting approximately 44 minutes. And so this goes on month by month. They're describing all these phone calls that they had. They talk about the FaceTimes and with her daughter. They were texting each other. They have clips of texts in here. At one point, she's talking to him about something. He was confiding in her about something that bad had happened to him. And she's like, you should come out and do ketamine with me.
That's right. Remember the first season when they're all, they can't drink, they can't smoke, they can't have sex before marriage, but they can go down a K-hole anytime they need to. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, they go to these ketamine lounges and just, you know, chill out. So yeah, they're confiding in each other about how hard it is being, you know, on reality television. She says he should come to Los Angeles for the premiere of the show. She says, you know, I'll let the producers know to send you the details. You know, just goes on and on like this. And, so it was months and months. There's nothing about an assault, nothing. And then in April 2025, she first suggested that it could have been sexual misconduct. And this must have been after she found out about Jesse.
Yeah, I think there's also something very, I think Demi's always had, again, she's competitive. And I think she's always been competitive with Jesse. And I think she saw herself as the better of the two. like the more happening reality star than Jessie was. And I'm sure that it did piss her off but she has no leg to stand on.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And so then the complaint goes on to, talk about how Jeff Jenkins, the production company, repeatedly published and republished Engemann's false sexual assault allegations, because it's all over every episode of season 3. So it's just one after the other of these allegations. And he also talks about how, this production company, if they had even done a minimal amount of due diligence to see if this was actually true and prioritized, the truth over money, they could have easily found out that there was no truth to this. And this is probably one of the most disturbing parts about this lawsuit, is what the production company did. And in fact, there's something in here about how they even tried to use her false allegations as like a cliffhanger for the season. They were really
a little bit. Yeah.
It. Yeah. And so, this is really irresponsible, for this production company to be just repeatedly letting this woman make these allegations that they have zero idea if it's true. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, because what the complaint says is that, because they did not investigate, because if they would have even just looked back at all of their footage, let's go back and look at all of our footage and let's look for any signs or signals that anything's wrong. That, if they'd just done that,
Aren't you? So it sounds like you feel like Marciano's got a pretty good case. And it does make you wonder about Jeff Jenkins, and where's his attorney in all of this? Like, they never bothered to talk to them and ask them or not. But from my understanding, in corporate America, right, if this happened between 2 employees and you heard an employee come, they would bring in an exactly what you're saying, an independent investigator to investigate everything. And I know that they're trying to get the show out quickly, but you guys had enough lead time where you really could have investigated all of this behind the scenes, found out what it is, and then make choices. Right. You could have edited this very differently. And if Demi wanted to make the statement, I think that then, I don't know, could they leave any of the Demi stuff in if they had just put in like a title card or something stating Marciano's position?
I don't know. I mean, I still think it's pretty shady to throw this guy under the bus like that, because these are very, very serious allegations. And unless you are 100% sure, they really should have just cut any mention of it, because this happened a long time ago. Like this Vanderpump Villa, it filmed in August of 2024. And then they went there in between seasons 1 and 2 of the show.
Yeah. And
then it aired in April of 2025. Let's see, the Jessie affair was August or September of 2024. So it was right after. Yeah, they had a long time to look into this, to figure stuff. Yeah, I think it's extremely, extremely irresponsible. And I just don't think that they counted on this guy who, this waiter, a glorified waiter on a reality show, to really do something.
Yeah. Influencer / DJ. I mean, it's hard to take that person seriously, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so, I think this is really bad. And, of course he claims, now he's persona non grata. He's off of the Vanderpump show. And now, he said he had other opportunities to be on other reality shows and a dating show or something that were taken away from him. Yeah. And how is he how is he ever going to be able to get a job again? It's going to be too much of a liability. I mean, he really does have some serious damages because of this. And, you know, Demi is just, again, this is such a reckless way to just mess with someone, mess with their life, their livelihood, calling him, you know, a sexual predator. I mean, it doesn't get much worse. I mean, you know, and this is really disturbing. And it's very disturbing that this is the kind of person she is, that she would do this with no regard for this person. No, I mean, and again, like you said, we're supposed to believe women and that kind of stuff. But it's like if there was any truth to this, someone would have come forward with something. You know, there'd be something.
It would look different. It would look different. The phone calls would be 5 to 10 minutes.
Right.
You know, the daughter would have never gotten on there. Like, it would be every time his name is brought up on the show, she would be cowering or not wanting to talk about it. Like, it would look very different. And the other thing with Demi is like a fascinating one too, because she's sort of stuck in the Regina George. You know, she's kind of stuck in high school mean girl. She's got that real kind of mean girl way about her. And, you know, her husband is, I think she's been married before and she has a child. She had a child with that first marriage. And then, I don't know, I think she's in her early 30s, but her husband's in his late 40s. Like, there's a big age gap between the two of them. So I feel like she has been used to being a little bit of a pouty princess who can say or do whatever she wants and stomp, stomp, stomp and gets her way. And I think that she's, you know, married to a father figure who kind of indulges it. And then, you know, because this is the first time any real consequences have happened to her for being like this, for treating people like that. Because, you know, the whole thing with Chase, and that was the second season where, did we mention this already or was this on the other show? Chase, who is one of the people in the soft swinging, it was a Halloween party. He walked by Demi, and Demi said something to him and he said something back, and he slightly kind of, I don't know if he even made contact with her, but he kind of just gestured and maybe his hand slightly brushed up against her. I mean, truly, it was nothing. And Demi turns around and says, you know, tells her husband, this guy just put hands on her. And I just love all this Mormon, you know, hands on her. Like, you're Mormon.
Laid hands on me.
You lay hands on me. It's like, ooh, tough talk from the streets of Salt Lake City. So she does have a history of taking something small, being uncomfortable, because what happened in that moment is Chase kind of chastised her a little bit. Like, it was a little bit of that. I think any of us would feel a little bit like, F you, buddy. You know, whatever. She got in his face, he got into hers. So she didn't like that. She was uncomfortable. So this is what she needs to do, is when she gets trapped into a corner and she doesn't like it, she's, you know, now she's got to deflect, and they're the bad guy.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what she did here. But she took it to a place where it's unbelievable. And also the other thing is, if that hadn't been filmed, the Chase thing, to walk around and saying this guy put hands on you, please.
Yeah.
Right. That's a big accusation.
It is. And that's all you have to say. If there were no cameras there to catch it, that's all you have to say. It would have completely changed everything that happened, you know, because Chase wouldn't have had any proof of, you know, it would have just spun out of control. And that's what's happened here is,
yeah. I mean, if that happened to Chase, what would happen to Dad Talk? He would not be allowed to stay in Dad Talk.
No. But, you know, I feel so badly for this guy because he was trying to create this kind of a career of sorts in these reality circles, and now no one's going to want to touch him. And so, I mean, I'm glad that I'm glad he's making the points, not just about Demi, but about the production company. This is irresponsible. Yeah. It's completely irresponsible. And actually, in this complaint, they talk about Heather McDonald.
Oh, because he was on her
Because-
show, right?
Yeah. On approximately November 24th, 2025, Heather McDonald, a podcast hostess,
Mm.
and Marciano jointly published a post on Instagram to promote Marciano talking on Miss McDonald's podcast. Engemann commented on the post and accused Marciano for the first time of having grabbed her privates without permission. She also used an emoji to ask if Marciano's dead father was as much as of a pussy as Marciano allegedly was. She also opined that Marciano's dead father was disappointed and embarrassed of Marciano. Now, that's diabolical.
Yeah. How do you know how his father? I mean, you're basically taking some. You know what? You're weaponizing now. Demi, private things that he said
Right.
to you, intimate things
Right.
that he said to you, things that hurt, and you took that and you twisted it around and put it out there publicly. That's fucked up. I will say, I am glad that he is suing. I'm glad he's doing this. And I hope this does set a precedent so that these kinds of things don't happen. But I do believe I think he'll rally. I mean, listen, I somehow trip upon all these Louis C.K. videos. I mean, trust me, like, I feel like he's, especially if this lawsuit gets some attention, I feel like he's going to get his career back.
Well, I hope so, because
Ish.
I don't think he did anything. And this accusation that he grabbed her privates was made 15 months after she met him.
Mm-hmm.
15 months. And that whole 15 months, she's, his BFF, texting and
But again,
talking on the phone.
even if she was, she was scared of him or worried about the thing, none of this has anything to do with what you're claiming he did or didn't do. Truly, I think, personally, the evidence is in the relationship that you had once you got home.
Right.
Because that does not read like a relationship where you're scared.
Yeah. There was no reason for you to ever speak to him ever again. And so you shouldn't have,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if this person was your abuser, and again, it's not like, I know we see this a lot of times with children and their parents where, you have a parent that groomed a kid and there's abuse, right? We see this a lot. Like, those people are groomed year after year after year after year, like where they can't release the person and let them go. How long? You were there for 4 or 5 days. Like, this man did not have enough time to groom you, assault you. Then you come home and then you're so groomed that you're afraid to not pick up the phone when he calls.
Yeah. No, I swear, I think you're right. I think this is all about the fact that she can't stand the fact that Jesse
made out with him.
Yeah, had an emotional affair with it, whatever, that was, maybe more than what she had with him.
And it became a storyline. That's the other thing too. So 2 things happened. Like so not only did Marcy, because I think she thought she was the special girl. Demi thought she was special. It's like, oh no, Demi, you're not. And then
He'll make out with anybody.
Yeah, he kind of does. Then you find out that you're this person who's quote unquote one of your best friends, right? That you don't think is as special as you are, because we hear about this. You don't think as good as you are is having this situation. And now the entire season 3 was very much about Jessie, the affair, and the falling apart of her marriage. And so I personally would not put it past Demi that I wonder if she would like ruin her marriage just to have a storyline. Like, there's a part of me that wonders if she would do that. There's something very young about her. And again, it's the same thing I always say about this show. You need to have years where you make out with randos. Like, these women just didn't have a chance.
Before you get married.
Before you get married, you got to go out and, make out with some randos, have a 4-way kiss, do great, or be in a relationship with someone and then you cheat and then you learn from it. Like, this is the problem is they just never had a chance to have these experiences. And now they have these opportunities and they can't.
Yeah. So we shall see where this goes.
Yes.
Very
All
interesting.
right.
Okay.
Psych Legal Pop. We'll be back after these messages.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. So now it's time to discuss what's happening in pop culture. And we're going to talk about the Oscars 2026, the 98th annual Oscars that just happened on Sunday. So Brooke, did you, high level, did you watch it or did you just see clips of it?
No, I didn't watch I didn't watch it because I don't know how and I didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I don't have live streaming and no.
But you have Hulu, right? So I will say I have a bone to pick with Hulu and ABC because they said, okay, it will be available the next day. I'm like, great. I woke up Monday morning, was going to put on, but it wasn't available. They didn't make it available till midday on Monday. So it's a little scheduling. I mean, so by the time I realized that they had finally posted it, so you can go back and watch it on Hulu. But by the time I figured out that they had posted it, I had already watched all these clips.
I mean, you can get the gist of the show just from social media, figuring out, okay, well, what are the moments, what happened, and then go watch the video. But there seemed to be a lot going on.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about here.
All right. So why don't we start with Conan? How did you watch the opening monologue?
I didn't
did you watch all
No,
Oh, okay.
I did not watch his monologue. Did you?
Yes. So I watched so he opened it up by doing a, like a reenact. He was acting out the movie Weapons, Amy Madigan's movie, and he had the wig on, the Amy Madigan and the lipstick. And again, because we have not seen these films, we don't get all of the subtle nuances of what they're saying. But yeah, I like Conan O'Brien. I like his sense of humor. I like him. A lot of people said they thought it was good. I don't know. I was really struggling with it. I wasn't laughing out loud. But again, I don't know if I've ever really laughed out loud at an Oscars. You know what I mean? So hard to do. But honestly, I think Nikki Glaser did a better job for the Golden Globes I think she was funnier and edgier and sharper than he was. But again, I don't know what I don't know if some of that's just the Oscars versus the Globes or whatever it is. So, but he's good. He does a good job. He does what he's supposed to do.
I don't even think they really need a host for the Oscars. They just, didn't they not have a host like during COVID or something?
Yeah.
But it's announced so the guy would come on over the speaker and say, ladies and gentlemen, Halle Berry or whatever. And we don't need an opening number. It's already too long. Let's get to the awards and let's just get to it.
I like all that. I like the openings. I like, and I feel like we do need, I don't know. I enjoy having a host. Like I like to be directed. And I think one person should be doing the directing. Like, okay, what's happening now? Now you're going to tell us this. Now you're going to tell us that. I think that the hosts have done a better job over the years of like getting in, getting out, right? Like I'm going to do my 10 minutes and then maybe I'll have a bit right here and then that's it. So, but I enjoy it.
There's no reason for it. Yeah. Okay. Well, didn't see it and, didn't see any of these movies, but, I enjoyed the drama of it all. So I think that, well, let's talk about the in memoriam.
Oh
part,
gosh, this was
went on and on and on.
The longest in memoriam, and so first, I think when I was trying to find clips, I saw the one for Rob Reiner, and then I saw this other one that was for Rachel McAdams did for Diane Keaton and Catherine O'Hara, and then I'm like, Barbara Streisand's there, Robert Redford, and you really do. 2025 was a rough year. It really was a rough year for actors. We lost a lot of good ones.
Yeah, Robert
really
Duvall
did.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Really
there were
so many people.
Some people had to share a screen. You know, it was like split screen, 2 people to a screen. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's no, it was very somber and depressing, quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm always curious about the politics of this stuff, of like, how does all this work? Like, and I'm not saying that he didn't deserve it, but that's quite a, they did a lot for Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner, like much more than they normally do. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but it's just interesting. And then you have Rachel McAdams, like, why do they get, and Catherine O'Hara, and it felt like they were kind of shoving Catherine O'Hara in there too. Like it was really supposed to be for Diane Keaton, and then Catherine passes away and it's like, oh crap, let's move her in. Yeah, I mean, it's always interesting to watch the politics of these things and like, oh, okay, you're going to spend a lot more time on this than this other person. So,
and a lot of people don't make the cut. There's always controversy about some people get left out. And I mean, I can see I bet you anything Barbara Streisand probably called the Academy and said, oh, I want to do something. And
yeah, probably.
And so
you can't say no.
Yeah, so we had to do it. And God bless Barbara. She's like 85 years old or something, but her voice is, rough.
Well, and did you see that she pulled out her own microphone? There's like a mic at the stand, and then all of a sudden she busts her own microphone. I'm like, whoa, she comes prepared. Oh, yeah. She got that in her back pocket.
She has her own lighting. She'll only be photographed from a certain side. Like she has a good side. Yeah, she's a pro, although she didn't really look all that put together at the Oscars. So, like I said, she's 85. You can only keep that shit up for so long.
Yeah.
But
so the big, I think probably the big brouhaha and the thing that I've been following is the whole Michael B. Jordan, Timothy Chalamet, and I somehow went on a TikTok rabbit hole of watching Timothy Chalamet fall apart. And I don't know if this is really happening. I don't know if people are projecting this on him. They always get these lip readers to read, the lips. And it's like, I think you guys are, I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to feel a little bad for Timothy Chalamet because I kind of feel like everyone's piling on him. I mean, I understand that, his comments weren't great, that he was doing this whole ad campaign, this whole thing that he was doing. It was a little douchey. It was getting grating towards the end. But, he just wants to win a goddamn Oscar. And he's upset he didn't win.
Yeah. I mean, and look, a lot of these actors and actresses have to wait a long time till it's their turn. And, look, Michael B. Jordan is just as deserving. And he's been acting longer. I mean, I think.
No, it's true. Yeah. He's older than Timothy. He's been acting longer. They both worked as kids. So they both have had long careers. And maybe, I think this is was this Michael's first nomination? Or has he been nominated?
I don't know if he was nominated before, maybe for Creed or, well, I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, everyone's deserving. And there is just, it's politics. It's like politics like anything else. You're one year, the competition isn't so steep. Other years it is. And so, I just feel like people are now like watching him and projecting a lot on him. And I'm like, I don't know. I just think
he really stuck his foot in his mouth with that comment, and he was getting a little cocky, and he didn't do himself any favors. And I thought it was hilarious that, he was sitting front and center when, Misty Copeland, the ballerina, came out and danced right in front of him during that song for Sinners.
Yes.
Like, oh, wow. Is this coincidence? I don't know. But
maybe. But I'm going back to the public shaming. Like, we don't need to publicly, shame him. Yeah, we've punished him enough for those comments. It's
I don't think that was intentional. That's why it's so funny, because they would have booked her months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And he just made these comments a few weeks ago. But do you know that she just had a hip replacement?
Misty Copeland?
Yes.
Oh, my God. She looked great.
Yeah, not that long ago. She had a hip replacement, and she's just back dancing, and, Yeah.
So apparently, I didn't know this, but because people were speculating whether or not Timothée Chalamet's comments about ballet and theater, if that affected, this outcome. And I was thinking to myself, how could it? Don't they have to lock in the votes much early? But apparently I heard something that they changed the rules. Like, they pushed it much closer to the line. My guess is probably because of computers. Like, I think now they're like, oh yeah, we don't need to we don't need months to calculate.
We don't need those guys to come out with the briefcases and, count them by hand.
It's all automated. And so so now it does make me wonder, like, if there were some Academy members that hadn't voted yet. And I'm sorry, those things, yes, I know people, you're just supposed to focus on the performance, but our biases come in. It's never been like that. And we got to accept that we have biases, people have biases and perceptions of things. And the best performance is subjective.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, it's all subjective and just timing and, who gets the most buzz at the right time, and because they're all good actors, obviously.
Yes.
But and then what did you think of old Sean Penn?
Didn't
bother to show up.
Well, you know where he was? I think he was talking with Zelensky. And I'm like, well, he had something better to do,
I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know he gave one of his Oscars to Zelensky?
Oh, okay. Well, he's got 3 now.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's got like a man crush on Zelensky. He's always over there talking about what, I don't know. But
well, the one movie I have seen is One Battle After Another, and I think it was a good movie. I have not seen the other movie, so it's hard for me to say whether or not it was the best movie. I did have people kind of hype it up to me, and so when I went to go see it, I didn't love it as much. I am very frustrated by all of these directors, these auteurs that make these 2+ hour movies. And stuff could have been cut. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of these guys, it's like nothing can cut. And listen, when I write something, when I wrote my book, I had I can't even tell you, like 70,000 words that got cut down. I can't even, because I think everything's great, but you need someone to really edit it down. And I just don't feel like they have enough people in their world to say, tighten this up. This would impact people much better. Anyway.
Well, why do you think everyone loved that movie? Because I haven't seen it, but I saw some clips and I was reading about the premise of the movie, and it just sounds kind of bonkers. And
it is bonkers.
I don't know what is the big appeal over. Well, especially like a Sinners or something that's, I don't know.
It's bonkers for sure. It's commenting on, I think it's got a lot of layers to it about race and, as does Sinners, I'm sure, about race and relationships and parenting. And it does touch upon a lot of things. Leonardo is very good in it and he's very funny. Benicio del Toro is very good in it. He's very funny. So there's these like really kind of funny sequences. I don't know. You just have to watch it. It's hard to explain, what it's all about, but I see why people do that. But again, I do wonder, like, this has been a big thing, is that Paul Thomas Anderson has made a ton of really great movies, and this is the first time he's ever won. And there's a little bit of this, is this his best film? Like, Martin Scorsese won the directing Academy Award for maybe not his best film. But I really kind of feel like they wanted to I think they wanted to give it to him.
Yeah, there's always one movie that, the community just kind of goes gaga over. And maybe just the average Joe is just kind of like, huh? Because that's who's voting. It's not the public. It's
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like for best director, it's all directors. You know, for actors, all actors. For the best film, everyone who's in the Academy can vote for best film. So yeah, there a lot of times there are things that are kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You know, sort of inside baseball.
Yeah. And what what these, and they're just like they're not all like Timothée Chalamet, but they're versions of Timothée Chalamet. I'm sorry, like they're actors, auteurs. They live in a different kind of world. Like this is just, their perception is very different. So it doesn't really align with what the average person wants. I did not see Hamnet, nor have I have any interest of seeing that movie at all. But apparently this Jessie Buckley swept. I mean, she really did sweep all of the awards season, and everyone thought she was great. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, good for her.
Yeah. And then this woman, Autumn Durald Arkapaw, was the first female to ever win the Best Cinematography Award for Sinners, which is huge. And I can't believe that. There was another woman at one point that was nominated. But this is really this is pretty significant.
Wow. Yeah, and she's from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Ryan Coogler, he didn't win for Best Director, but he won for Best Original Screenplay, which is it's a big deal. Yeah, and that's another one, Best Director. There's so many great directors who, never win, or they takes them 30 years to win. It's that one I think seems especially political.
Well, and there's also a lot of controversy around the fact that how could you make someone the best director and then give a different picture the best picture?
Yeah.
A lot of people feel like those things, like the director impacts the film and the director, so that they should be synonymous. Usually, I think, I haven't looked at the stats, but I think most of the time those two things do go hand in hand, but sometimes they don't. And it is a little confusing.
Yeah. So what else was a highlight? The
Bridesmaids reunion.
Yeah, I didn't watch that clip. I was just kind of like, oh, what?
Did you see Bridesmaids?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, they did a funny little bit. They were introducing two different things. So they were up there for a while, and it was just, it was funny. It was nice to see them. I think everyone was happy to see them. And it's been 15 years since that movie's come out, which is crazy to think about. Because I feel like it was, I was like, oh, it must be like what, the 10-year anniversary? Like I was 15 years. Wow. So.
Yeah. And then the documentary categories, that movie, A Perfect Murder, was nominated. We covered that. The one about the white Karen lady who killed the woman.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know that was nominated. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was The Perfect Neighbor was nominated. And so was, I think we talked about covering this, the Alabama Solution.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was talking to you about it, and it was like, God, this is a downer, but apparently it's great. It will anger people, and it
makes me want to watch it now. It makes me good. But the winner was something I'd never heard of, Mr. Nobody Against Putin. No idea what that's about.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's, I think it's a comment about fascism and what's happening politically. And, cause his speech was, basically he was saying the quiet part out loud, which is if we let our democracy slip through our fingers, it's, we're in deep trouble.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I might check that out. And then the best documentary short, the winner is, All the Empty Rooms. Have you seen the trailer for this?
I've not seen the trailers, but I've seen clips of it, and I do know what it's about. It's about the school shooting. And then I saw the woman that her daughter was. Yeah. I
mean, the trailer will just leave you in, just
God.
It's so sad, but there's a line. So basically this man started photographing the childhood bedrooms of kids who were killed in school shootings.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times the parents, they leave the room exactly as it was. So it's like a memorial to them, and where they can remember them and feel close to them. And so he started photographing these bedrooms. And there's a line in the film where I forget who says it, but they said, if every American, could see this, just see these rooms and see this, we'd live in a different America. And it's really true. Like the visual of, a child left this room in the morning with their unicorn bedspread, and dream catchers on the wall, and never came back. I mean, it's just, so I'm glad it won. I mean,
yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Though I'm kind of curious to see if they interview a psychologist to find out if that is, because I go back and forth of like, is that really the healthiest thing for the parents to keep these rooms frozen in time? Like, I understand it. Listen, I'm not here to judge. I have no idea how, you're trying to get through the days, mom and dad. So I'm with you. But I do often wonder if that's really healthy for people to stay stuck in that place.
I think, I mean, I understand, wanting to have it there, but it's like so extremely sad every time you pass by. And like this one parent was saying, he says good morning and good night, goes in the room and says good morning and good night to his child every day. Yeah, God. Okay. Didn't mean to bring everything down.
Well, but when you say like, if every American, I think most Americans, most of us do see this way. It's these goddamn lawmakers. It's these.
Well, they're Americans too. I mean, let's take these, Mike Johnson and his crew, and Lauren Boebert and whoever.
Do you think if they saw this documentary, it would really change anything for them? I think they would find justifications.
Well, and that's what Charlie Kirk's justification was, that the Second Amendment was so important that if we lose a few, well, that's the price you pay for the freedom of the Second Amendment. And okay, so were you
the universe said okay then?
Okay then, yeah. Were you collateral damage, and that's just okay, and because we still have the Second Amendment. Okay, let's not.
Yeah, I don't want to get too into this political stuff, but it is heartbreaking, and I'm glad that the filmmakers let the mom speak.
Yeah.
Because they, really gave her the time. So, I was going to say, I did like the Michelle and Rob Reiner tribute. I thought that was really well done. And just having everybody there who had been in his movies over the years and significant. And and again, we talked about this when Rob was killed, that you forget how much he did and how vast it was and how it just like comedy, drama, coming of age, just how incredibly talented he was.
Yeah. And I didn't realize, because Billy Crystal said that he and Michelle were instrumental in, making sure that same-sex marriage was, I don't know if they were involved in that Supreme Court case or what their involvement was, but it must have been significant.
Yeah, I had heard that the two of them, but I think Michelle was more of the driving force. Like, I think that they met and he cared about these things, but I think she was like, that was her passion. And so, and then she got him on board. And, but yeah, apparently the two of them together did a ton of stuff. But yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that they were instrumental in making that happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what about the fashions?
Yes. Oh, and last thing, the best song was Golden, that K-pop song.
Oh, of course. I knew that was going to win.
Yeah. Oh, the up. This K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, it's taken me a full year to realize, like, oh, that's the song and that's connected to the Demon Hunters. And oh, okay, that's what that is. I mean, for so long, I was very confused. But yeah. So I felt like I really enjoyed the fashions this year. I feel like even the ones that you're like, I don't love that. I thought it was I thought it was like daring or interesting. So let's see. Where do you want to begin? I'm trying to find
Well, let's see. The people who were getting good reviews. Nicole Kidman.
Yes.
Looks good.
Oh, you know what? I heard this rumor, but I kind of believe it may be true, but that apparently one of the reasons why Nicole Kidman, even when she's not in movies, that she always goes to the Oscars, because if she's going to be there, Tom Cruise can't show up. Because she's a suppressed person.
Well, he can't be in the same auditorium with her?
I don't know. I feel like they have been in the same auditorium before, but that's the rumor that some of it is she makes point of showing up because she knows that puts him in a very uncomfortable position and that he can't come or that he won't come. So,
poor baby.
Anywho, I know. And I'm like, this makes me like Nicole Kidman even more. I love the pettiness.
Tiana Taylor, of course.
Yes.
Always looks great.
I saw that someone said she was the best dressed of all fashion season, and I totally agree. Even if you didn't love everything she wore, each one was distinct and interesting. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
I like Demi Moore's. I like the feathers.
Didn't she wear a feather thing to some other award show this year?
Yeah, she wore that, I think, to the SAG Awards. She wore that kind of the big ruffle thing in the back. But I really like this. With the feathers. I really like it. And I think she looks great in it. I never really pay attention to the men. I don't really care.
Well, Timothée Chalamet did not look good. He had this kind of baggy white suit and white tennis shoes. The pants were like too long. I didn't like it.
Yeah. Everyone, I really didn't like this Jessie Buckley's. I guess this is Chanel. But apparently, like, all of the fashionistas were like, oh, she slayed. She slayed in that Chanel. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't get it. Like, oh, the two colors, the pink and the red. It's so now. And I'm like, okay. I also really liked Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, yeah. She always looks good.
I mean, she looked great. I think Emma Stone looked good, but, you know, it wasn't like, wow. I hated what Kate Hudson wore. I know some people liked it. It was just, it
looked too matronly or something for her.
Yes. And she did that last time when she was nominated for, God, what was the name of that movie?
Yeah, she looked terrible in
Almost Famous.
Yeah.
When she was nominated for Almost Famous, she wore something that made her look 100 years old. And then the next year when she wasn't nominated, she came in and she looked great. So it was like, I don't know, she just loses her mind when she gets nominated. I also really liked, it's interesting because some people, I thought that the Anne Hathaway and Rose McGowan's dress and Rose Byrne's dresses were very similar. But apparently, like, everyone's like, no. Rose Byrne slayed and Anne Hathaway, ugh. So
they didn't like her. I didn't like it was the big flowers. You need to just go with a solid color. There was this one woman actress, I can't remember, I don't know her name, but she was nominated and she wore this like red strapless dress that had a big slit up the side and then the other side was like really long. It was kind of asymmetrical. It was a really cool dress. And then when her movie won or something, or she went up on the stage and someone accidentally stepped on the train of the dress and it almost pulled the whole dress down.
Are you talking about Chase Infinity? Or are you talking about, I don't know if it was red. It was like a purple. That is. Okay.
I think
she's in one battle after another.
No, I wish I knew who. Oh, her name starts with an R. Where's my list? Let's see. Where are the actors? Oh, this is really great.
People are fascinating. The content here. I know.
I don't know. I can't find it. Anyway, you know, if you see it, you'll go, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that was pretty much, those are the ones that I saw that I think I liked them going through. And I mean, again, so much of it is just personal taste, like what you think is fun or attractive or,
Well, yeah. And then, do you know, Taylor Frankie Paul was there.
Yes. And in a dress that was, I mean, she is a young woman with a great figure. Why are you wearing something so ugly? Like, you could wear anything. And she was wearing the ugliest thing.
Well, we're going to talk about her in our Patreon bonus.
Yes.
A lot going on with her. I'm surprised she had time. That just shows you, like, I don't think any of this stuff phases her. She's like in major hot water, and she's at the Oscars. I think I would have stayed home. But
oh yeah, well she already had her dress and her invite, so she's like, okay, I'm just gonna bebop along. Here I go.
And then did you see the two guys from the two hockey guys? What's the name of the
Heated Rivalry? Because they were both wearing see-through shirts.
Yeah, this is quite daring.
This is.
They're wearing these sheer shirts, two different kinds. One has like this long train on it, and then the other guy is carrying a fur, like a stole or something. This is very avant-garde.
Yeah.
Preston Williams and Connor Story.
Well, it definitely is. I mean, and when you look at the men's fashions, I mean, this is one thing that's very different now is there's a lot more, like men have a lot more freedom, or it seems like men are taking more chances. And there's a lot more, like Pedro Pascal wore, like a big flower. And so just kind of changing things up. I was super bummed that Delroy Lindo didn't win.
Yeah.
Mainly because I was like, I don't know. I mean, is he really going to get, is he going to be in another movie that gets nominated, and is he going to get nominated? I mean, he obviously is a great actor. He will continue to be a great actor, but I think that there's this feeling of like, I think this was his chance. And it just sucks.
Yeah. And then it goes to Sean Penn, who's already won
He's
twice.
not even there.
Didn't even show up.
Yeah. So I'm sure that didn't feel good, but I mean, listen, a lot of Bay Area represented.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, everyone around here, it's so funny. Like, everyone's like, Elisa Liu, Ryan Coogler. Like, look at us. Look at what we're producing.
The Bay is cool. Yeah. People are finally, noticing.
Figuring that out.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yes.
Next year will be 99. I can't believe this show's been going on for almost 100 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's always these articles about like how to improve the show and how to do this and that. I'm like, you know what? Don't just like, this seems to work the best. Yeah. Just like, let's just do it. In the world that we live in today, people can fast forward through anything. Yeah. So there's a little bit of that. But I don't know. Did you ever go to Oscar parties or no?
I've been to a few in my life. I think I've been to one with you.
Maybe at my old boss's house, Mary.
Maybe. I don't know.
My old boss, Mary, had these Oscar parties. They were so involved. And then like you had to make a dish that represented part of the movie. It was always, and I was in my 20s and like I didn't cook. It was always very stressful. So I love her, but I'm glad I'm not doing that anymore because that was a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Oscar, it's fun to have people to talk with, but then I find people start irritating me at the end. Like
it's a long time. It's a long time, and it's a long show. And I was listening to someone today. Oh, Fortune Feimster was talking because she was in Zootopia 2 or whatever, which was nominated. So she went to the Oscars, and she's talking about how many hours you are there. I think the big stars, they can kind of arrive a little bit later, but everybody else, you have to get there so early. And, there's no food. And they do in the lobby area. She said they did have cocktails and a few passed apps, but that was kind of it. And so you're sitting there for hours and hours and hours and you're starving. And you saw Michael B. Jordan went to In-N-Out.
He was quite starving. Yes. Well, and I heard I read some article in Vulture where they had some news reporter that was like milling around trying to see. And it seems like most of the time what these celebrities do is they're not even in the auditorium. I think they're up drinking, running around. You know, they don't even want to be sitting there.
Yeah, that's why they have those seat fillers.
Yeah.
Because so many people get up. Yeah, it's a long afternoon, you know, because it starts at like 3:00.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think those people, there's a lot, but you've got the camera on you constantly, so everyone's watching you. I don't know. Well, you know, our Aunt Paula went to the 1991 Oscars.
Oh, was she not? Was her?
No, she edited. No, she was the editor of the packages, the clip packages.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't remember her talking about like that was the year that Prince of Tides was nominated, and Barbra Streisand made her crazy because Barbra Streisand wouldn't let Paula's company, her and the other team, edit anything. She had to have control.
Oh,
and so it was like, okay, well, it's Barbara, so
yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what Paula had said, that they, you know, you get there early and then you get out of the car and everyone's like, oh, you're a nobody. Like there's disappointment, you know, you're not special. And then you're sitting way, way, way in the back, you know? So anywho,
well,
all right.
Exciting.
Another award season over.
Yes.
We have survived. Well, it's springtime, so we will move on to whatever's next.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for being here and supporting us. There's lots of ways that you can support us. You can go and check out our Patreon, where we have lots of extra content. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review. Those help us people find us and promote the show. You can subscribe because this, you know, the next couple months are a little fluid, and so we're, you know, if you love our content, just subscribe. That way, you know, you get everything in your feed, and follow us at Psych Legal Pop on social media. We have lots of clips and other things. And if you follow us, you can keep abreast of what we're doing. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
This season on The Dream.
Supplies are being provided by nurses who run out in the middle of the night and purchase diapers, but the hospital is still charging as if they still have these items.
We are digging into every topic we've ever wanted to cover on this show.
It's a spinning plate analogy. The second that you stop spinning those plates, that crashes. So you can never stop working.
The Dream Season 4 comes at you weekly starting Monday, January 20th.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.